So you got enough slack? No, I feel slack. Hopefully we have the other end. Wait, no. Which side are we doing? No, I started. Oh, you just I started. Oh, okay. Oh.
Alright, y'all. Buenas tardes. Sorry, making this. Thank you, Mike. Thank you. Okay. So, buenas tardes, everyone. My name is Marisol Marquez, and I'm a member of Centro CSO. I help co-chair the Immigration Committee of CSO, and thank you for being here today. Just wanted to say, que viva los inmigrantes.
¡Que viva!
Que vivan los inmigrantes.
¡Viva!
¡Ay, Salva
¡Ay, Salvador!
Awesome. So the people that we have who are going to be speaking today are a lot of the people who responded yesterday. There were 6 people who were taken from the East, both from Boyle Heights and East LA. Quite of them were vendors. To that we say shame, because the Trump administration, Homan, and Kristi Noem, all of them love to say that they're going after criminals, right? They say a lot of horrible things about undocumented people that are not true. And the people that they took were the flower vendor from 2nd and Mott. What crime did he commit? He was selling flowers, as he's done every single morning forever and ever until they decided to kidnap him from his own street. We also know that they took someone who sells fruit. How is that a crime? Selling fruit, keeping our neighborhood healthy because we know that there's a food scarcity here. That was a crime? Flowers, fruit? Those are things that make our neighborhood beautiful and something that we pride ourselves in having that culture, and they removed it from us yesterday. I also got to witness that my daughter's class was very, very low attendance. A handful of students who are now terrorized. Their parents didn't want to pick them up from school. So this is why we are gathered here. Like I said, you're going to be hearing from different speakers who responded to yesterday's ICE raids, ICE kidnappings, So thank you so much to all of you who helped us out with rapidly responding to every time we heard over and over again that they were taking people from our neighborhood, from Boyle Heights. 6 people total, y'all, who have been disappeared. We heard that in total there were 4 that they tricked into self-deporting. And that's a shame because those people belong here. This is their home and it's been their home forever. So that's not right. We'll be speaking out against that today. So once again, my name is Sol, and I am happy now to introduce my friend, longtime friend, Matt Harper, who is part of the Los Angeles Catholic Worker. They do a lot of work on Skid Row. Their office is actually right here in Boyle Heights on Britannia. So give it up for Matt Harper. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Matt Harper, and as Sol said, I'm a member of the Los Angeles Catholic Worker. I know we come from a lot of varied traditions and experiences of faith, so I will do my best to respect the variety of traditions here, but to recognize that part of the battle that we are in is very much a spiritual battle, and our churches have a huge responsibility to play in making sure that we are on the front lines with our community partners, fighting for our parishioners, fighting for our neighbors, fighting for the dignity that all of them are given under our God. So however you choose to begin your prayers, whether it be silence or a deep breath or a ritual, I invite you to do that now. I begin in the name of the Creator, the Redeemer, and the Spirit. Dear God, we know you by many names, and we are known by you. We gather this evening as the sun goes down, symbolic of the darkness that continues to descend on your people, your sacred and beautiful people. Please continue to inspire and fuel those communities that have been at the forefront of your justice, those who patrol our neighborhoods, looking to make sure that everyone here is truly safe. Those who respond to the needs of their neighbors with generosity and abundance, knowing they will wait forever for the state to meet the needs of their community. But we ask you most particularly in this time, as a member of a church who is too often quiet and removed and afraid to be active in this world, we pray that you will guide your faithful to take up the mantle of the justice work that you require of us, for faith alone is not enough. Mobilize us, move us, make us fight every day for the dignity of each and every life that are all created in the image of your Son. And we remember that you know as a parent what it is like to lose your beloved child to the violence of an empire, to have your loved one seized and flogged and sentenced to death. May that not be the reality of our world anymore, and may we be the hands and the feet and the bodies that usher it in through your guidance. Amen.
Good evening. Our next speaker is Councilwoman from Council District 14, Yazabel Guardillo.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Councilmember Isabel Morado. I represent the 14th District here in the city of Los Angeles. Yesterday in Boyle Heights and El Sereno, our neighbors were taken. A flower vendor, someone who wakes up early every morning to bring beauty into our homes and into our lives, was taken in broad daylight. A produce vendor selling fruits and vegetables out of his truck feeding families was taken. What happened yesterday was meant to scare us. It was meant to send us a message that no one is safe, not on the sidewalk, not at school, not at work, not even while trying to make an honest living. But Boyle Heights and El Sereno sent a message right back. Neighbors warned each other, vendors protected one another, rapid response teams mobilized immediately. We owe enormous credit to the networks that help our communities organize and respond to ICE activity in real time. And I want you to know this, that City Hall stands with you. Members of my team, several of whom are here today, are directly connected to these rapid response networks. They move at a moment's notice to document ICE activity, proactively canvass neighborhoods, and make sure people know their rights and what to do if they see ICE. And they connect impacted families with resources through the city of Los Angeles. We are here with you today, and we will keep showing up because our communities deserve protection, not persecution. I know so many people are scared right now, and I know because I am scared too. It's our current reality, and this is where we are. But to those who think fear will break us, look around. We keep showing up for each other. We reclaim our public spaces like Mariachi Plaza as our own, and we do not let them forget that they are unwelcome here. So ICE out of Boyle Heights, ICE out of LA, and ICE out once and for all. Abolish ICE. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Isabel Jurado. That's Councilwoman CD of District 14 here in Boyle Heights. It applies to her district. So thank you so much again for stepping away from your very busy schedule and in standing in solidarity with the people who make Boyle Heights thrive. Next, I want to introduce Verita Topete. Verita is a member of Centro CSO. She also helps lead the immigration work of CSO. Yesterday, she was one of the people who alerted us at about 9:30 in the morning. She was witnessing as the flower vendor who was taken from 2nd and Mont was being kidnapped violently by ICE agents. And she tried very, very hard to try to get them to leave him alone and to let him stay. He was just selling flowers. So we want to give it up to Verita for immediately responding, doing everything she could. If you saw the video that was released by the Boyle Heights Beat, that was taken by our sister. So give it up for Verita Topete, y'all.
Yesterday, I witnessed ICE kidnap our neighbor Hector here in Boyle Heights. I was inside my grandmother's home when I heard car horns and our community members yelling. I stepped outside thinking it was parking enforcement. Instead, I watched ICE drag a flower vendor, someone just trying to survive. Hector ran towards his home. He was selling on the corner of Mont and 2nd. He lives down the street. As soon as ICE approached him, he ran towards his home. And by the time he got to his gate, it was too late. They had already grabbed him and were dragging him and forcefully shoving him violently into their car. Shame! The fight for legalization for all is a fight for our right to live and work without fear. And right now, that right is being violently taken from us and our community members. Yesterday's moment was very heavy in the community of Boyle Heights. 6 of our community members were kidnapped. Shame! Shame! And just weeks ago, ICE raided nearby in East Los, targeting street vendors, raiding car washes, terrorizing workers who are simply trying to make a living. These are not safety measures. They are acts of intimidation. This is state violence. Centro CSO's demands are clear. We want ICE out of Los Angeles, stop the deportation, and legalization for all. But these demands alone are not enough. We need folks to get organized. We need people to join Centro organizations like Centro CSO, Proyecto Pastoral, join rapid response networks like the Boyle Heights Immigrant Rights Network. Learn your rights. Show up for your neighbors, because the only reason we survive this violence is because we protect each other. Centro CSO will be hosting a barrio walk this Saturday, 10 a.m. We will be meeting in the parking lot of Food for Less here in Boyle Heights to go door knocking and educate our community on how they can know their rights and how they can protect each other. If you're tired, if you're fed up with these violent ICE raids, fed up with them kidnapping our neighbors and killing legal observers, hit the streets with us this Saturday. We'll be at the Food for Less parking lot. Thank you.
Thank you all so much. If I could go ahead and ask compañera Claudia Mencia to make her way over here. The next speaker is Claudia Mencia. She is a part of the Boyle Heights Immigrant Rights Network, BHIRN. And yesterday, she was one of the people who was immediately there on 2nd and Ma as the flower vendor Hector was being taken by ICE. So we could not be doing this work without the Boyle Heights Immigrants Rights Network. And Claudia is a very, very integral part of that network. So give it up for Claudia.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Claudia Mencia. I'm the Senior Community Organizer for the Boyle Heights Immigrant Rights Network. And we are a coalition of residents, businesses, and organizations that we are here to protect and mobilize immigrant policies for all. Yesterday, our community experienced increased immigration enforcement activity. Families are scared. Families are confused and looking for reliable information. When community members report possible ICE activity, our role is clear. We document only what is observed, we verify information before sharing it, and we work to connect impacted families to trusted legal and community resources. In moments like these, misinformation can spread quickly and create panic, which can put people at greater risk. Responsible documentation and verification are critical to protecting our community. There is no reliable way to predict when or where ICE is going to show up, but we know they're going to show up. That's why our focus is not on speculation, but on preparation, accurate information, and care for families after something occurs. If community members see possible ICE activity, the safest and most effective step is to call our rapid response hotline. So this information can be verified and families can be supported. Our message is simple. We respond with care, clarity, and community, not fear. I'll say in Spanish now. Hola, mi nombre es Claudia Mencia, soy organizadora comunitaria principal de la red de inmigración de aquí de Boyle Heights y East LA. Somos una organización comunitaria que responde a las acciones de ICE mediante la documentación, la verificación y el apoyo a las familias. Ayer nuestra comunidad experimentó un aumento en la actividad de ICE. Las familias están asustadas, confundidas y buscan información confiable. En momentos como estos, la desinformación puede propagarse rápidamente y generar pánico, lo que puede poner a las personas en mayor riesgo. La documentación y la verificación responsables son fundamentales para proteger a nuestra comunidad. No existe una forma confiable de predecir cuándo o dónde ocurrirán las acciones de ICE, pero sabemos que van a ocurrir. Por eso nuestro enfoque no se centra en la especulación, sino en la preparación, la información precisa y el apoyo a las familias después de que ocurra un incidente. Si los miembros de la comunidad observan una posible actividad de ICE, el paso más seguro y efectivo es llamar a la línea directa de respuesta rápida. Nuestro mensaje es simple. Respondemos con cuidado, claridad y en comunidad, no con miedo. Gracias.
Our next speaker is Enrique Velasquez from the Boyle Heights Immigrant Rights Network, Rapid Response, and Proyecto Pastoral.
Hi, good afternoon. Enrique Velasquez with Boyle Heights Immigrant Rapid Response. I just want to say that we all can play a key role in these moments of crisis when our communities are being terrorized, our communities are being hijacked by a man who just simply wants to run the country as his own business. This is not acceptable. And we need to send him a loud and clear message that not in LA, not in this community. That's why we need to organize. We need to join any organization that is making a difference or wants to make a difference in its community. We as a rapid response, as Claudia was saying, we responded right away with other community members, with Central CSO, and sadly we witnessed, our community, some community members being taken away, but this is what they want us to believe it is normal in our nation. It is not. Just think and transport your brain to what's going on in Minneapolis. Minneapolis is and should be an example for us of popular resistance. So it is time for us, as I said before, to join an organization, prepare ourselves as much as we can in case, they escalate even farther. That's what I wanted to say because there is more speakers that probably will touch on other issues. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much again to the Boyle Heights Immigrants Rights Network. Long time established. I know that they're very humble about it, but they've been doing this since 1986. Long time. A lot of people think that rapid responding is new. No. We learn and owe everything to the Boyle Heights Immigrants Rights Network that's been doing it for a very, very long time. This is why we are urging you to please take down the number, if you don't have it, of the Boyle Heights Immigrants Rights Network. If you see something in Boyle Heights, alert and let us know so that we can respond immediately. Next up, I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to some CSO speakers. So we first up have Gabriel Quiroz Jr., who helps co-chair the Police Accountability Committee. He was there all day yesterday, as was his family, who's right over here in the corner, when First Street Elementary asked if we could maybe do some observations to make sure that, ICE wasn't around terrorizing our people some more. We made sure we responded. Gabriel Quiroz was there yesterday, so was his family. We took over all of the entrances and exits of First Street Elementary because who keeps us safe? We keep us safe. Give it up for Gabriel. Thank you all.
Hello, just give me a second. Hello, everyone. My name is Gabriel Quiroz Jr. with Central CSO. I'm one of the co-chairs for our Police Accountability Committee alongside Derek Mejia, who is out in the crowd holding it down on security. I want to start off by first denouncing the brutal racist ICE raids that targeted our raza and Boyle Heights and all across the east side on January 28, 2026. A day Chicanos and Boyle Heights will not soon forget. It was a very dark day, but the Boyle Heights Immigration Rights Network jumped into action. Our organization, Central Community Service Organization, our allies, local businesses, owners, and our gente stood up and fought back. We saw mass Border Patrol gunmen brutally assault and kidnap beloved street vendors, who aren't just vendors but residents of Boyle Heights. These are our neighbors. We saw heavily armed Border Patrol pigs target hardworking raza and kidnap them off our streets in broad daylight. All while LAPD, one of the most heavily funded and armed police forces in the United States, did nothing. But we never expected LAPD Hollenbeck Division to save us. They shoot and kill us. Jerry Flores, say his name. Jerry Flores. Kristen Escobedo, say his name. Kristen Escobedo. Hollenbeck Division is the second most murderous station in the whole damn department. LAPD Chief Jim McDonald himself openly collaborated with ICE when he was the sheriff of LA County. Shame. But you know who did come out to defend the barrio? The people did. I want to speak of the resilience of the people from Boyle Heights. We saw heroes like Verita Topete confront Border Patrol agents who were kidnapping a beloved flower vendor. We saw neighbors come out to defend their neighbor. We saw the Boyle Heights Immigrant Rights Network jump into action and respond all across the east side. We saw local business owners and workers chase migra out. We saw workers shut the doors on migra as our raza ran to safety. We saw people straight up chase migra out of Boyle Heights. Centro CSO and the Boyle Heights Immigrant Rights Network patrolled First Street Elementary School during dismissal. We had a large presence and talked to families about the rights and handed out a Boyle Heights specific rapid response number. It's personal to us because our kids and loved ones attend public schools in Boyle Heights and East Los. When we show up to patrol a school, we're protecting our own kids, our neighbors' kids. This is our neighborhood, and we will defend it and all its residents. We at Centro CSO are not the type to record from far away when we see our raza being kidnapped by masked ICE agents. These pigs have no fucking right to be in our neighborhood, our city, or the state of Califas. We will protect our neighbors. We will mobilize and organize. I want to send a message to everyone in Boyle Heights and East Los. Join us. Come to our barrio walks and meetings and let's get organized. If you're from an organization, let's work together. If you're a local business, let's work together. Let's build a united front across the east side. We are all on the right side of history and we will win. We demand legalization for all. And last but not least, chinga la migra! Chinga la migra! Chinga la migra! Chinga la migra!
Our next speaker is Carlos Montes, a longtime Chicano activist, and he's also one of the co-chairs for Centro CSO's Education Committee.
All right, thank you everyone for coming out here. My name is Carlos Montes. I'm a member of Centro CSO. We have a very well-organized education committee. We're the headhunters against the privatization of LUSD. We've knocked out charter schools that have tried to build big monstrosities here in Boyle Heights and East LA. Our education committee is composed primarily of families and mothers who have children in LAUSD. These ICE attacks have got to stop. I support rebuilding the resistance, a united front, so I thank all the coalitions that are here today, all the organizations. But as you know, because of ICE attacks in California and LA last year, the student enrollment in LAUSD has dropped dramatically. Parents and families are concerned or afraid of going to school because the migra might, when the students get home, they might not have their parents at home because they've been arrested or kidnapped. Parents don't want to take their children to school because of the possibility that immigration might be there. And that's true. Yesterday, we were at First Street School, united to protect the school. I got up in the morning and I saw Verita posting about the flower vendor. I got on my bike and drove over there, and Verita was there and Sol was there. We were on the ground and Claudia was there. We responded. Unfortunately, he had already been kidnapped. And that's a Mott and 2nd Street. That's the route I take every week to go to Food for Less. And I see him sitting there selling flowers. So obviously, Christie Holman, Trump are lying that they're going after so-called criminals. They're going after the working class of the Chicano Mexicano community. I want to also announce that next Saturday, February the 7th, we're going to have a march and rally here to say ICE out of Aztlan. And the reason we're saying ICE out of Aztlan is because we're recognizing and educating people about the Mexican-American War. that this land, the Southwest, was invaded militarily by the U.S. Armed Forces. And the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo was signed in February the 2nd, 1848, where the United States went all the way to Mexico City in 1848 and claimed the whole Southwest. So that's why we say, the border didn't cross. We didn't cross the border crossed us. So February 7th, we're going to be assembling here at 11, right, Betty? 11 or 10? 10 o'clock in the morning. We're going to have a rally. We're going to march downtown. So, education is fundamental to our community. It used to be that we had the Mexican schools and the white schools, segregation. And we fought, the African-American movement, the Chicano movement, the working class movement fought for the right to have a quality public education. And we won those games. In the 60s, we had student walkouts for weeks demanding quality education. We wanted bilingual education. We wanted ethics, Chicano studies, ethnic studies. We wanted courses to be able to go to college. And we won those games, right? But all of those gains are now in danger of being taken away by Trump. He's trying to do away with the Department of Education. The Republican Party and Trump represent the privatization of public services. They're going after every public service, but they've already targeted the Department of Education to privatization to try to move millions of dollars into the private sector where so-called families can have vouchers, charter schools, private schools. It's basically an attack on the right of a public democratic education. So we say no to that. We're united with all of you to say no to the migra. We're going to continue to get up in the morning and roll out to make sure ICE is out of our communities. So again, February 7th, come and join us. Aztlan is the Southwest, it's the Chicano homeland, the Chicano nation. Yes, we claim, but I want to put it on the record that we support the sovereignty and the national development of the native nations in the Southwest. I've been to the Yaqui Reservation in Arizona. I met with the Yaqui elders and Chicano elders, talk about the unity and the struggle for self-determination and equality for Chicanos and the native people, right? But Aztlan, Chicanos, we are the working class of the Southwest. I worked in the copper refineries of El Paso, Texas, Phelps Dodge, where it's all Chicano working class, graveyard shift. I work in the garment industry. I work in the construction industry. The Southwest working class is Chicano, Mexicano. I know everybody said we work the fields. We work the oil wells. We work the light manufacturing. We work the service industry. We work the copper industry. So we have a right to economic and political power as Chicanos in the Southwest. That's right. Our ultimate goal is Chicano power, economic and political power of the Southwest. So that's part of the educating our community, educating everybody about the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo. They invaded this country. There's monuments downtown about, I think, a General Fremont, when he came into California and Los Angeles and invaded California. So our struggle for immigrant rights, I grew up in Ciudad Juarez on the border town, and it was always about papeles y trabajo and crossing the border back and forth. We always had jokes and trauma about the migra, about people getting arrested. My father got deported many times, right? But I want to point out, and I'm sorry it's taking a little longer, that our struggle is not just for civil rights, immigrant rights, and legalization. Our struggle is for power, economic and political power in the Southwest for Chicanos and Mexicanos. So join us February the 7th here at Mariachi Plaza, where we're going to say, ICE out of Aztlan. So I'll end it by saying, aquí estamos. Aquí estamos. No nos vamos. Y si nos echan, nos chingamos. All right, gracias.
Okay, y'all. So we have the last but not least two speakers left over, y'all. And then if you're feeling pretty pretty excited and you want to fight back for Boyle Heights, maybe we could take it to the corner over here, no? And do a little bit of sign wave. So last but not least, we have two speakers again. I'm going to introduce my friend, Avery Raimondo. Avery moved to Los Angeles in 2018, originally from New York, Long Island area. So if you notice a little bit of an accent, you might be able to detect it. But, since 2018, the rest is history for Avery. He's actually a teacher with the LAUSD Public and also is a member of the Freedom Road Socialist Organization because, really, really making change in this country requires a big, big change of power, right? And with that, Avery's going to talk to us a little bit about it. I'm also a member of Freedom Road, but I want to pass it over to my comrade, Avery Raimondo. Give it up for him, y'all.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Sol, for introducing me. My name is Avery Raimondo, and I am part of CSO, FRSO, and an LAUSD educator. And when I was asked to speak today, somebody in particular came to mind. I had a student this summer who was going to be entering her senior year, and her name is Nori Sontay Ramos, and she was apprehended and deported alongside her mom. And this was a student, and I teach in the MacArthur Park area. I met her at 7th grade when I was a TA. Then I had her as student teaching when I was in 8th grade with her. And she was that sort of kid who I was supposed to be helping her on her math or whatever. And we just started talking. She'd be asking me about Stranger Things. She'd be asking me about whatever, running, anything, right? And we would just lose track of time because of how, engaging she was. And then when I started teaching in high school, she happened to be going to that same high school too. And I got to watch her go all the way up, become an honor roll student, about to be in her senior year. She's going to be graduating. And this summer, Trump and ICE, they arrested her while she was doing her usual check-in and sent her back with her mom to Guatemala, and her mom actually passed away over the summer as well. So she's there by herself, even though she was asylum seeking. She was fleeing gang violence there in Quetzaltenango, had spent almost her whole life here in LA, and now she's back in a country that she's getting to know again. For what? She never committed a crime. Her mom had never committed a crime here in the United States. We just recognize that it is just Trump's racist reactionary agenda against immigrants and against all people who are resisting. And I see that as an LAUSD educator, the effect that these attacks have on our system. Our students' enrollment is way down because students and their parents are afraid to go to school. Our numbers are down because we have people who would typically be migrating here and be in our classrooms are not coming. And because of that, we have expected budget cuts, expected teacher cuts. And really, it's just an attack on all of us, what Trump is doing here. Actually, before I got here, I was on the way to drop off my UTLA strike authorization votes. So us in UTLA, we're expecting that unless these conditions improve, we're going to have to fight back. And the district needs to give us what we deserve, especially during this time. But I want to talk about my perspective as a CSO and FRSO member. We recognize the need to build the people's movement, the resistance against Trump and his racist reactionary agenda. What does that look like? 3 years ago, we hosted with CSO a border delegation. So we had activists, immigrant rights activists from Minneapolis actually come here to see the conditions here in LA. They went down to the border as well to visit with asylum seekers on both sides of the border. And then this past year, we organized a Southwest Summit against deportations because we recognize that what is happening in Minneapolis is happening here, and our movement against Trump must be united. And so for that reason, right, we are calling you to join an organization, okay? Join FRSO, join CSO, whatever is in your neighborhood, because Trump is going to be attacking us throughout his term. And we cannot just let it happen. Verita was such a great example of what we can do. And we need to continue this throughout until he's out of office. But more than that, even beyond that point, we need a complete change in system. We need a socialist system in which we are in power, in which immigrants, in which workers are in power, and we are the ones who are able to make decisions and have power over our lives rather than Trump and his white supremacists who are supporting him. So thank you. Join CSO, join FRSO, and let's fight back together.
All right, y'all, give it up for Avery Raimondo. Now, last, so my husband, he's not here because he's with my baby. So if y'all know me and my babies, one of them helped respond yesterday. And thank you to Claudia because the bicycle was rolling because we were so shocked. Yeah, Claudia. Oh, she saved my baby yesterday because we were so shooken up by what had happened to the flower vendor, right? And my little one was there with me, my 18-month-old. But yeah, my husband's over there. The reason I'm mentioning him is he's actually a Teamster. He's a UPS driver. And he was able to get the day off. Lucky us, right? But I have met really wonderful friends through the Teamsters work. We have another sister back over here, Jenny, who's also a Teamster. Give me some noise if you're part of a union. Shout out your union's name. Unite here. Well, who else? IATSE. Who else? I'm an SEIU 1000. I know Verita's also an SEIU member. But the next speaker and final speaker is our friend Sam Carrera, who born and raised here in Boyle Heights, and he's actually a Teamster member. And if you haven't seen him patrolling the streets and responding immediately to an ICE raid, you're gonna probably remember him after he speaks today. So give it up for Sam Carrera, Teamster, proud Teamster, and a member, longtime member of this community and the barrio of Boyle Heights. Thank you, Sam.
Good evening. My name is Sammy Carrera, Boyle Heights resident, proud sanitation Teamster Local 396. And unfortunately, I don't have anything formally prepared, right? And the reason for that is because I was at work, working a 12-hour shift as I've done so for many years, right? I still have on my steel-toe boots and my dirty work pants from my shift because I just clocked out about an hour ago. I came straight here. And some of us wake up at 3 a.m. in this community. Some of us wake up at 4 a.m., 5 a.m., right? Because this is a working class neighborhood, right? Some of us clock in to do sanitation work like myself. Others are plumbers like my father. Some others are flower vendors and fruit vendors, such as the people that were kidnapped yesterday. And so look, this is our organization at work. We have security volunteers who keep our community safe. And this is something that we all just witnessed right now. Is our security team in action, keeping our people safe, right? And that's essentially what we're here for, right, today, is to denounce these brutal and horrific kidnappings, right? I have 3 small children who are born and who are being raised in this neighborhood. And I can only imagine what the children and the family members went through at First Street Elementary. My daughter goes to a school not too far from here, right? But I know that if there's ever a situation, I'm going to be able to rely on the community, right? As we saw yesterday, we began to receive reports that there was ICE attempting to kidnap our people. Our community members responded, Verita and others from the Boyle Heights Immigrant Rapid Response Networks, right? And we confronted them. And we more than likely prevented additional kidnappings, right? Of the total number of people that were kidnapped, it's too much, right, in itself. But we know that our work prevents extra kidnappings, right? And so this work is very important, right? We're going after criminals, right? That's what the Klansmen in power are saying. We're going after the rapists. We're going after the criminals, the murderers. But here we have an example yesterday. They kidnapped a flower vendor, a fruit vendor, right? These are our neighbors. This could have been my father. This could have been an uncle of mine, right? These are our fathers, these are our uncles, our aunts. And so that is why we are here today, to show that we're not going to back down. When we look at examples elsewhere in the country, we see what just occurred in Minneapolis, the Twin Cities, right? The win that occurred there, Bovino being demoted, we know that it doesn't mean the end of the kidnappings, because they're going to replace him with somebody who's probably even worse, Tom Holman, right? But we know that demonstrating and coming out onto the streets is a proven tactic against this regime, and we're going to continue to fight, right? Look at this neighborhood like Boyle Heights, right? And we could use other neighborhoods as examples. Neighborhoods such as Compton, Watts, South Central, Barrio Logan, Sacramento, anywhere in this country, any neighborhood, we have been dealing with brutal police repression, but it's always been on a local level, right? LAPD gang unit officers, I just noticed them patrolling in the back, and they've been killing us. They've been hunting us down, right? The only difference is that now it's being done so on a federal level, right? So a quick message, right, to this administration of Klansmen is we are here and we're not going anywhere, right? We're not afraid of a good old-fashioned mano a mano. We're here, we're gonna fight, okay? And look what happened in Minneapolis. The people fought, and now they're retreating. The Gestapo, right? Maybe they're gonna be deployed elsewhere, and wherever else they're deployed, we're gonna fight them there. So with that, thank you.
Okay, y'all. So it looks like we have some community members here. Muchas gracias por salir, raza. Yeah, it's too bad. I was talking to some of the people who helped do the response yesterday, and it hits you very personally, right? Like, I live very close to 2nd and Mott, and I was busy with the work task, and I left as soon as I could. But it's so nice to be part of a larger network that does respond and was there as soon as it happened, and even in real time as it was happening, right? It's so nice to know that we move collectively, like piano keys, everybody individually, but together making a beautiful symphony, right? So I'm thankful that all of you are here. Make sure you grab that number of the Boyle Heights Immigrants' Rights Network, because it responds immediately when something is seen. And we always try to give it out. We try to post it. Verita already let y'all know, but once again, if you want to get involved, because we need you. This Saturday, right? At what time was it? At 10 a.m.? That's right, 10 a.m. Make sure you go to the Food for Less parking lot right next to the recycling part. And right there, we're going to go ahead and assemble into teams and reach out to our community and let them know that they have rights. Post the number everywhere and get to know our comunidad. So if you're interested in getting involved, that's one way that you can plug in. So this concludes our press conference, but I know that the press is here and they want to go live with us. So what we're going to do is we're going to make some noise. Are y'all ready? So yeah, make sure you grab a poster. I think those are already gone. We're going to grab a banner, and if security is good to go, we're going to try to take it over here to the sidewalk. The little area that's kind of like the bike area, right? So let's go make some noise, y'all, and let Boyle Heights know that we don't welcome them in our neighborhood, right? Ice out of LA!
Ice out of LA!
Ice out of LA!
Ice out of LA!
If y'all want to join us, we're going to come out here. Ice out of Boyle Heights!
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 Chinga la migra!
Chinga la migra!
Chinga la migra!
Chinga la migra!
Ice out of LA!
Ice out of LA!
Come on, guys! Come on, let's get out!
Is it out on Saturday? I can try it.
Up with liberation, down with deportation.
What do we do?
we walk around and talk to our neighbors, and we give them know your rights information, and we're also patrolling at the same time.
¡Chinga la migra! ¡Viva policía! ¡Viva policía!
That's where the LAPD vehicles that start seeing us like sharks in here. So Roddy walked in Saturday, and then check our Instagram. Sunday we have banners painting at Overlook Park. Join us there. And then February 7th, join us here at 10 a.m. Aizara Basla, joined by multiple Chicano-led organizations that will be here. It's the band Aizara Basla, Aizara everywhere. And yeah, sir. Anyone got a question? Everyone get closer, thank you. But immigrant rights are under attack. What do we do? Si se quiere meter en la foto, join us. I think it's quite a big group picture to show everyone that Boyle Heights is an outside of Boyle Heights. But immigrant rights are under attack. What do we do?
¡Stand up, fight back! ¡Chinga la migra! ¡Chinga la migra!
Okay, maybe don't do that. Yeah. I would love to. Do you like Chinese? Yes. Yeah. Okay, so what's the security? So can you signal? Organize a very last minute so I tried to put it more ice
Esto fue el final. Gracias por estar viendo. Gracias a los que dieron like, a los que no dieron like. Tap, tap. A los que me dieron un regalito. Gracias. Ahí lo voy a publicar despuesito. Ahorita voy hacia el centro. Esto fue en la Plaza Mariachi. En la Plaza Mariachis, aquí es una estación del metro y los artes que hacen, que son apoyados por parte del Estado. Así que si sos artista puedes venir a buscarlos en el metro, en la estación del metro o en la alcaldía para hacer tus obras de arte. Y esto fue lo último. Ya se terminó la conferencia que iban a dar acerca de lo que pasó ayer y de lo que está pasando y que no quieren que pase igual que Minnesota, en Michigan y en los otros estados. Soy Rack de Raliuga. Si querés ser reportero, solamente escribime y te doy las técnicas de redacción, técnicas de investigación, cómo ser un reportero imparcial. De nada, Claudia. Gracias por estar acá. De Frank, I am curious how many these protesters will let and undocumented use their identity. I will investigate that. I will tell you later. Thank you, everyone. Gracias.